Ever since Emma Brooks was a child, animals had been her closest companions. Growing up in a household bustling with furry, feathered, and scaled friends, she developed an unwavering bond with creatures of all kinds. Her earliest memories were filled with the warmth of snuggling kittens, the chirping of rescued birds, and the gentle nudge of a curious turtle. Her parents, both avid animal lovers, encouraged her fascination. They often took her on weekend trips to wildlife sanctuaries and animal shelters, where she would spend hours observing, learning, and helping care for the animals. Emma's heart swelled with compassion each time she nursed an injured squirrel back to health or fed an abandoned puppy. As she grew older, Emma's passion for animals only deepened. She immersed herself in books about exotic species and volunteered at the local veterinary clinic. Her room was a sanctuary of its own, adorned with posters of majestic creatures and shelves lined with figurines of rare animals. Each one represented a dream, a world where she could devote her life to understanding and protecting these beings. Emma's path seemed clear from an early age. She excelled in her studies, driven by the goal of becoming a veterinarian. Her dedication paid off when she was accepted into a prestigious university, renowned for its veterinary program. There, she specialized in exotic animals, fascinated by the diversity and complexity of creatures that most people never encountered. Throughout her education, Emma's hands-on experience with animals grew. She worked with everything from tiny sugar gliders to imposing iguanas, each encounter reinforcing her belief in the importance of her work. Her mentors recognized her unique ability to connect with animals, a combination of scientific precision and heartfelt empathy that set her apart. Emma's journey was not without challenges. The rigorous demands of her studies and the emotional toll of caring for sick and injured animals tested her resolve. But each hurdle only strengthened her commitment. She saw each animal's recovery as a victory, each life saved as a testament to the importance of her chosen path. By the time she graduated, Emma Brooks was not just a veterinarian. She was a beacon of hope for many exotic animals in need. Her first job at a specialized clinic allowed her to bring her dreams to life, treating creatures that ranged from the delicate to the dangerous. Every day was a new adventure, a chance to make a real difference. Emma's love for animals was more than a passion. It was her life's calling. This deep-seated compassion and dedication defined who she was and set the stage for the incredible journey that lay ahead. Emma Brooks was wrapping up a busy day at the clinic when her phone buzzed with a text from her best friend, Sarah Johnson. Sarah was the kind of friend who always had something exciting or dramatic going on, and tonight was no different. "Emma, I need a huge favor," the message read, followed by an array of emojis that hinted at both urgency and mischief. Curious, Emma called Sarah. "What's up?" Sarah's voice came through, breathless and a little desperate. "I need you to go on a date for me." Emma blinked, confused. "What? Why?" Sarah explained that she had been hounded by a persistent suitor, a wealthy entrepreneur named Alex Carter. Despite her polite refusals, Alex remained undeterred, and Sarah had finally promised to meet him for dinner just to get him off her back. But now, with an important business trip coming up, she couldn't make it. "Please, Emma, just this once," Sarah pleaded. "You just need to show up, act uninterested, and he'll move on. I can't deal with him right now." Emma hesitated. She was no fan of blind dates, especially not as a stand-in. "Why me? Because you're my best friend, and you owe me for covering your shifts during finals," Sarah countered with a laugh. "Come on, it's just one dinner. Make him think you're weird or something, and he'll lose interest." Emma sighed, knowing she couldn't say no to Sarah. "All right, fine, but you owe me one." "Thank you, thank you, thank you," Sarah exclaimed. "I'll text you the details." "You're a lifesaver." Emma hung up, shaking her head in disbelief. She wasn't looking forward to this, but a favor was a favor. She would just have to make the best of it. Little did she know, this seemingly simple request would set off a chain of events that would change her life in ways she could never have imagined. Emma arrived at the upscale restaurant feeling a mix of reluctance and nervousness. She had donned her quirkiest outfit, a floral dress paired with mismatched accessories, hoping to appear as eccentric as possible. Her plan was simple: be as off-putting as she could to ensure Alex Carter wouldn't be interested in a second date. As she approached the table, she saw him, Alex Carter, the young and charismatic CEO of a renowned tech company focused on animal care innovations. He stood to greet her, a genuine smile lighting up his face. He was taller than she expected, with an easy confidence that matched his reputation. "Emma, I presume?" he asked, extending a hand. She nodded, forcing a smile as she shook his hand. "Yes, and you must be Alex. Nice to meet you." They sat down, and a waiter promptly appeared to take their drink orders. Emma ordered something unconventional, a bright green concoction that looked more like a science experiment than a beverage. As they began to chat, Emma found herself struggling to maintain her odd demeanor. Alex was surprisingly easy to talk to, his interest in animals mirroring her own. He listened attentively as she talked about her work at the clinic, his eyes lighting up with genuine curiosity. "So, what drew you to work with exotic animals?" he asked, leaning forward. Emma hesitated, momentarily forgetting her strategy. "I've always loved animals, especially the ones people often overlook. They need care just as much, if not more, than the typical pets we see every day. It's incredibly rewarding to help them." Alex nodded, his respect for her evident. "That's admirable. We need more people like you in the world." She blushed, caught off guard by his sincerity. Trying to steer the conversation away from herself, she asked, "And what about you? What inspired you to start your company?" Alex leaned back, contemplating. "I've always been passionate about technology and its potential to improve lives. When I saw how many animals could benefit from innovative care solutions, it seemed like the perfect way to combine my skills with a meaningful cause." Despite her best efforts to be unappealing, Emma found herself genuinely enjoying the conversation. They laughed, shared stories, and discovered common interests. The dinner progressed smoothly, the initial awkwardness melting away. By the end of the evening, Emma felt a pang of guilt. Alex wasn't at all what she had expected. He was kind, intelligent, and genuinely passionate about his work. As they stood to leave, Alex turned to her, his expression thoughtful. "Emma, this was unexpected. I know our meeting was unconventional, but I've had a really great time. How about we do this again? But for real?" Emma's heart skipped a beat. She hadn't anticipated this turn of events. I'll think about it," she replied, managing a smile. As she walked away, her mind buzzed with conflicting emotions. What was supposed to be a simple favor for a friend had turned into something far more complex. Emma couldn't help but wonder what would happen next. The next day, as Emma went about her work at the clinic, her thoughts kept drifting back to Alex Carter. She couldn't shake the memory of their conversation, his genuine interest, and the unexpected connection she had felt. Who was this man who had turned her expectations upside down? Alex Carter was not just any CEO. He was a prodigy in the world of technology and animal care. By the age of 30, he had founded and grown his company, Innovate Pet, into a leading force in the industry. Innovate Pet wasn't just about selling products. It was about revolutionizing the way people cared for their pets, using cutting-edge technology to improve their health and well-being. Alex had always been driven. From a young age, he was fascinated by gadgets and innovations. He would spend hours disassembling and reassembling devices, figuring out how they worked. This curiosity, paired with a deep love for animals inherited from his veterinarian mother, shaped his career path. After earning degrees in both engineering and business, Alex combined his expertise to create Innovate Pet. His company developed everything from advanced diagnostic tools to smart feeders and interactive toys, all designed to enhance the lives of pets and their owners. His visionary approach earned him accolades and a significant following in both the tech and pet care communities. But behind the polished exterior and the impressive resume was a man under immense pressure. Alex's family, particularly his traditional and influential parents, had high expectations for him. They admired his success but constantly nudged him towards settling down and starting a family. To them, a stable personal life was the next logical step for their brilliant son. Alex, however, was torn. His work was his passion, his life's mission. He didn't want to be distracted by a relationship, especially not one formed out of societal pressure. Yet, he couldn't deny the emptiness that sometimes crept into his otherwise fulfilling life. The weight of his family's expectations bore down on him, making it harder to focus solely on his career. Meeting Emma had been a revelation. Her authenticity, her unpretentious love for animals, and her grounded nature struck a chord with him. She was unlike anyone he had met in his social and professional circles. Genuine, passionate, and refreshingly real. Their evening together had been a breath of fresh air in his otherwise meticulously planned life. Alex found himself thinking about Emma more than he anticipated. There was something about her that lingered in his mind, a sense of possibility he hadn't felt in a long time. He knew he wanted to see her again, not just because of his family's insistence, but because he genuinely enjoyed her company. As he sat in his sleek office, overlooking the city, Alex made a decision. He picked up his phone and dialed Emma's number, his heart pounding slightly in his chest. When she answered, her voice calm and professional, he couldn't help but smile. "Emma, it's Alex. I was wondering if you'd like to join me for another dinner. No pretenses, just two people getting to know each other." There was a brief pause on the other end. Then Emma's voice came through, warm and slightly amused. "All right, Alex, let's do it." But this time, no plans to scare anyone off. Alex chuckled, feeling a sense of relief and excitement. "Deal. I'll see you soon." As he hung up, he felt a spark of anticipation. Maybe, just maybe, this could be the beginning of something extraordinary. The next dinner between Emma and Alex was different from the first. There was no pretense, no hidden agendas, just two people genuinely interested in each other's company. They talked about their passions, their work, and their lives, finding a surprising amount of common ground. As the evening progressed, Alex leaned forward, a serious expression on his face. "Emma, I have a proposition for you. It's a bit unconventional, but hear me out." Emma, intrigued, nodded. "Go on." Alex took a deep breath. "I know this might sound strange, but I'm under a lot of pressure from my family to settle down. They believe that having a stable relationship will help me focus better on my work. The thing is, I don't want to rush into anything just to meet their expectations. But if I had someone like you, someone genuine and passionate by my side, even if it's just for show, it would get them off my back." Emma raised an eyebrow, trying to understand where he was going with this. "So, you're asking me to pretend to be your girlfriend?" Alex nodded. "Yes, but it's more than just pretending. I want to support your work too. I know how much you care about your clinic and the animals you treat. If you agree to this arrangement, I'll provide funding to help expand your clinic and improve your services. It's a win-win situation. You get the resources you need, and I get to focus on my work without my family constantly pressuring me." Emma sat back, considering his offer. It was indeed unconventional, but the prospect of additional funding for her clinic was tempting. She thought about the animals she could help, the improvements she could make with better resources. But pretending to be in a relationship? That was a whole different challenge. "What's the catch?" she asked, her eyes narrowing slightly. Alex smiled, appreciating her cautiousness. "No catch. We set boundaries, keep things professional, and if at any point you feel uncomfortable, we call it off. Simple as that." Emma looked into his eyes, searching for any hint of deceit. She found none. Instead, she saw a man genuinely trying to find a solution to his problem while offering her an incredible opportunity. After a moment of silence, she nodded. "All right, Alex, let's do it. But remember, this is strictly professional. I'm doing this for the animals." Alex's face lit up with relief and gratitude. "Thank you, Emma. I promise you won't regret this." As they sealed their unusual agreement, Emma couldn't help but wonder what lay ahead. It was a risk, stepping into this unknown territory, but her love for her work and the animals she cared for gave her the courage to take the leap. This decision marked the beginning of a journey that neither of them could have anticipated, one filled with challenges, discoveries, and emotions that would test their resolve and change their lives forever. The first few weeks of Emma and Alex's unusual agreement were a whirlwind of activity and adaptation. They had to learn how to present themselves as a couple in public, navigating social events and family gatherings with convincing chemistry. Emma, who had always preferred the company of animals to people, found herself thrust into a world of high-stakes business dinners and elite social circles. One of their first major appearances together was at a gala hosted by InnovatePet. Alex, ever the charismatic leader, introduced Emma to his colleagues and investors with a proud smile, highlighting her achievements and passion for animal care. Emma, though initially overwhelmed, quickly found her footing. She charmed everyone with her genuine enthusiasm for her work and her down-to-earth nature. Despite the public facade, behind closed doors, Emma and Alex maintained their professional boundaries. They spent time discussing clinic improvements and potential collaborations between InnovatePet and Emma's practice. Alex was true to his word, providing funding and resources that allowed Emma to expand her clinic, buy new equipment, and hire additional staff. The clinic thrived under this newfound support, and Emma felt a sense of accomplishment she hadn't experienced before. However, not everything was smooth sailing. The pressure of maintaining their act began to take its toll. Emma found herself constantly on guard, worried about slipping up and revealing the truth. Alex, too, struggled with the deception, especially when faced with probing questions from his family and close friends. Their carefully constructed relationship was put to the test during one particularly challenging weekend. Alex's family had organized a retreat at their countryside estate, a tradition aimed at bonding and discussing the future of the family's business ventures. Emma, nervous about spending an entire weekend under the scrutiny of Alex's parents and siblings, did her best to prepare. She researched the family, memorized details about their interests, and even practiced answering potential questions about her relationship with Alex. The retreat started off well enough, with Emma and Alex managing to keep up their act. But as the hours turned into days, the strain became evident. During a casual conversation by the lake, Alex's mother, a sharp and perceptive woman, cornered Emma with a series of pointed questions. She asked about Emma's background, her intentions, and how she saw her future with Alex. Emma, caught off guard, stumbled over her answers. She could see the suspicion growing in Alex's mother's eyes and felt a pang of guilt for the deception. Later that night, as they sat by the fire pit, Alex noticed Emma's unease. "Are you all right?" he asked, concern in his voice. Emma sighed, staring into the flames. "I'm not sure how much longer I can keep this up, Alex. Your mother is suspicious, and I hate lying to people." Alex reached out, gently squeezing her hand. "I know this isn't easy, Emma. I'm sorry for putting you in this position. But remember why we're doing this, your clinic, the animals. We can get through this together." His reassurance brought some comfort, but Emma couldn't shake the feeling of being out of place. She realized that despite their agreement, the lines between their professional and personal lives were becoming increasingly blurred. The first real challenge of their arrangement had surfaced, and how they navigated it would define the future of their unusual partnership. As the retreat came to an end, Emma and Alex returned to their respective worlds, both carrying the weight of their shared secret. They had faced the initial hurdles together, but the path ahead was fraught with complexities they had yet to fully understand. Emma's clinic was buzzing with activity, the usual cacophony of exotic animal calls mixed with the hum of medical equipment. Her days were filled with a variety of patients: chameleons, parrots, sugar gliders, each requiring specialized care. Everything seemed to be running smoothly until one afternoon when Emma noticed something alarming. A beautiful macaw named Rico, who had been in for a routine checkup, was showing signs of a mysterious illness. His once vibrant feathers were dull, and he refused to eat. Emma's heart sank as she examined him, her mind racing through potential diagnoses. She decided to run a series of tests, hoping to pinpoint the problem quickly. Over the next few days, more cases emerged. A pattern of similar symptoms appeared in other birds and small mammals. The clinic staff worked tirelessly, but the illness spread like wildfire. Emma felt the weight of responsibility on her shoulders. This wasn't just an outbreak, it was an epidemic. Determined to find a solution, Emma reached out to Alex for help. She knew InnovatePet had access to advanced technology and resources that could be crucial in diagnosing and controlling the outbreak. Alex responded immediately, sending a team of experts and state-of-the-art equipment to assist. The clinic transformed into a crisis center. Alex's team worked alongside Emma's staff, conducting tests, analyzing data, and implementing quarantine protocols. Despite the severity of the situation, Emma couldn't help but be impressed by Alex's dedication and leadership. He spent long hours at the clinic, often late into the night, coordinating efforts and providing support. One evening, as they reviewed the latest test results, Alex noticed the strain on Emma's face. "You've been working non-stop. When was the last time you took a break?" he asked gently. Emma shook her head, her eyes tired but resolute. "I can't rest until we figure this out. These animals depend on us." Alex admired her determination. "We'll get through this, Emma. Together." Their teamwork paid off when, after days of exhaustive research, they identified the culprit, a rare strain of avian flu that had somehow jumped to mammals. With this knowledge, they were able to develop a treatment plan and begin vaccinating the affected animals. Implementing the plan was no easy feat. Emma and her team worked around the clock, administering treatments and monitoring the animals closely. Slowly but surely, they began to see improvements. Rico, the macaw who had been the first to show symptoms, started to recover, his vibrant feathers regaining their luster. As the epidemic came under control, the relief in the clinic was palpable. Emma finally allowed herself to breathe, knowing they had averted a potential catastrophe. The experience had been a severe test of her skills and resilience, but she had risen to the challenge with unwavering resolve. One night, after the last patient had been treated and the clinic had quieted down, Emma and Alex sat outside, the cool night air providing a much-needed respite. They were exhausted, but there was a sense of accomplishment between them. "Thank you, Alex," Emma said, her voice sincere. "I couldn't have done this without you." Alex smiled, his eyes reflecting the shared struggle and triumph. "We make a pretty good team, don't we?" Emma nodded, realizing that their partnership had grown into something much deeper than either of them had anticipated. The epidemic had tested their limits, but it had also strengthened their bond, revealing a synergy that was undeniable. As they sat together, looking up at the stars, Emma knew that their journey was far from over. But for the first time, she felt a sense of hope and possibility, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Just as the epidemic at the clinic was beginning to subside, another storm was brewing. This time, it threatened Alex's reputation and the very foundation of InnovatePet. Rumors started circulating about a flaw in one of InnovatePet's most popular products, a smart collar designed to monitor pets' health and activity levels. It began with a few isolated incidents reported by pet owners who claimed the collars were causing skin irritations and, in severe cases, minor burns. At first, Alex dismissed the reports as anomalies, confident in the rigorous testing and quality control processes his company employed. However, as the number of complaints grew, so did the media attention. One morning, Emma walked into the clinic to find Alex hunched over his laptop, a deep frown etched on his face. "Alex, what's wrong?" she asked, concerned. He looked up, frustration and worry evident in his eyes. "There's a problem with the smart collars. The media is blowing it out of proportion, and it's starting to affect our stock prices. Some of our major investors are getting nervous." Emma felt a pang of empathy. She knew how much Alex had invested in his company, not just financially but emotionally. "Is there anything I can do to help?" she offered. Alex sighed, running a hand through his hair. "I'm not sure yet. We're conducting a full investigation, but the damage is already being done. If we don't get to the bottom of this quickly, it could ruin everything I've worked for." Determined to support Alex, Emma proposed a plan. "Let's tackle this together. You focus on the internal investigation, and I'll handle the external side. We need to communicate transparently with the public and reassure them that we're taking this seriously." Alex agreed, grateful for her support. Over the next few days, they worked tirelessly, Emma used her connections in the veterinary community to gather data and testimonials from satisfied customers who had used the smart collars without issues. She also reached out to trusted animal care influencers to help spread a balanced message. Meanwhile, Alex's team at Innovate Pet conducted thorough tests to identify the source of the problem. They discovered that a batch of collars had been manufactured with a defective component, which, under certain conditions, caused the issues. Alex immediately ordered a recall of the affected products and implemented stricter quality control measures to prevent future occurrences. Despite their efforts, the negative press continued to mount. One particularly damning article accused Innovate Pet of negligence, questioning Alex's leadership and commitment to pet safety. The piece featured interviews with disgruntled customers and sensationalized headlines designed to provoke outrage. Emma, seeing the toll it was taking on Alex, decided to take a more direct approach. She arranged for a press conference where Alex could address the public and media directly. Standing by his side, she introduced him, sharing her own experience with Innovate Pet products and her faith in Alex's integrity. Alex stepped up to the podium, his expression resolute. "Ladies and gentlemen, I want to address the concerns that have been raised about our smart collars. First and foremost, I apologize to any pet owners who have been affected. Your trust is paramount to us, and we are committed to ensuring the safety and well-being of your pets." He explained the steps Innovate Pet had taken to rectify the issue and reassured everyone that the company was dedicated to the highest standards of quality and safety. His heartfelt words and transparent approach began to turn the tide of public opinion. After the conference, Emma and Alex returned to the clinic, exhausted but hopeful. The immediate crisis had been managed, but the experience had left its mark on both of them. They had faced another significant challenge together, and their bond had only strengthened as a result. Sitting in the quiet of the clinic, Emma looked at Alex, admiration in her eyes. "You handled that with grace and honesty. I'm proud of you." Alex smiled, a hint of relief in his eyes. "I couldn't have done it without you, Emma. You've been my rock through all of this." As they shared a moment of mutual respect and gratitude, they both knew that while the road ahead would have its challenges, they were stronger together. Their journey was far from over, but they were ready to face whatever came next, side by side. With the smart collar crisis behind them, Emma and Alex finally had a moment to breathe. However, just as they began to feel a sense of normalcy, shadows from Emma's past began to surface, threatening to disrupt their newfound stability. It started with a visit from a man Emma hadn't seen in years. Dr. Thomas Reed, a renowned exotic animal specialist and one of Emma's former professors, arrived unannounced at the clinic. Emma was surprised but welcomed him warmly, eager to show him the advancements she had made with Alex's support. After the initial pleasantries, Dr. Reed's tone turned serious. "Emma, there's something we need to discuss. It's about your time at university and the research project you worked on." Emma's stomach tightened. She had almost forgotten about that chapter of her life, a time filled with ambition, mistakes, and unresolved issues. "What about it?" she asked, trying to keep her voice steady. Dr. Reed sighed, glancing around to make sure they were alone. "Do you remember the experimental treatment we developed for the endangered pangolins? The one that had unexpected side effects?" Emma nodded, her mind flashing back to late nights in the lab, the excitement of potential breakthroughs, and the eventual disappointment when the treatment didn't go as planned. "Of course, I remember. We halted the project when we realized the treatment wasn't viable." Dr. Reed leaned in closer, his voice dropping to a whisper. "The project wasn't halted, Emma. The university continued the research without your knowledge, using your findings. Recently, some of the animals treated with the updated version have shown severe complications. The board wants to pin the blame on you, claiming you knew about the risks and withheld information." Emma felt a cold shiver run down her spine. "That's not true. I had no idea they continued the research. I documented everything transparently." Dr. Reed placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "I believe you, Emma, but they're desperate to protect their reputation, and you're an easy target. We need to find a way to clear your name." Emma's mind raced. If this information became public, it could ruin her career and the clinic's reputation. Worse, it would impact Alex, who had put his trust and resources into her work. She decided to confront the situation head-on. That evening, she sat down with Alex, her heart heavy. "Alex, there's something I need to tell you. It's about my past, and it could affect everything we've built." As she explained the situation, Alex listened intently, his expression serious but supportive. When she finished, he took a deep breath. "We'll fight this together, Emma. I won't let them tarnish your name for their mistakes." Together, they formulated a plan. Alex used his connections to gather evidence from the university, proving that Emma had no involvement in the continuation of the project. They also reached out to former colleagues who could testify to her integrity and transparency during the research. The battle was tough. The university board was resistant, trying to bury the truth to protect their own interests. Emma and Alex faced intense scrutiny from the media and skepticism from the public. Yet, through it all, they stood firm, determined to uncover the truth. In a dramatic turn of events, a whistleblower from the university came forward, providing crucial documents that vindicated Emma. The papers showed that the decision to continue the research and the resulting complications were made by the board, without Emma's knowledge or consent. The revelation caused a scandal, forcing the university to issue a public apology and acknowledge Emma's innocence. The media, which had been quick to condemn her, now hailed her as a victim of institutional corruption. As the dust settled, Emma felt a mix of relief and exhaustion. The ordeal had tested her in ways she hadn't imagined, but it also brought her closer to Alex. They had faced not just professional challenges but deep personal trials, emerging stronger and more united. One evening, as they walked through the clinic, Emma turned to Alex, gratitude in her eyes. "Thank you for believing in me and standing by my side." Alex smiled, wrapping an arm around her shoulders. "We're a team, Emma. No matter what comes our way, we face it together." In that moment, Emma knew that despite the shadows of the past, their future was bright. They had proven their resilience, and whatever challenges lay ahead, they were ready to meet them, hand in hand. As the tumultuous events surrounding the clinic and the university scandal began to fade, Emma and Alex found themselves in a new phase of their relationship. What had started as a convenient arrangement had transformed into something deeper and more complex. They were no longer just partners in a mutually beneficial deal. They were becoming indispensable to each other. One sunny Saturday, Alex invited Emma to join him on a hiking trip, a rare break from their hectic schedules. They drove out to a serene nature reserve, where the air was fresh and the trails promised a much-needed escape from their usual pressures. As they hiked, they talked about everything and nothing, sharing stories from their childhoods and dreams for the future. At one point, they reached a picturesque clearing with a breathtaking view of the valley below. They sat down on a large rock, catching their breath and taking in the scenery. Emma felt a sense of peace she hadn't experienced in a long time. "You know," Alex began, breaking the comfortable silence, "I never expected this to happen." Emma turned to him, curious. "Expected what?" "This," he said, gesturing between them. "When we started this arrangement, I thought it would just be a practical solution, but it's become so much more than that. I've come to realize how much I care about you, Emma, not just as a partner in this crazy plan, but as someone who has become incredibly important to me." Emma's heart skipped a beat. She had been feeling the same way but hadn't dared to voice it. "I feel the same way, Alex. This isn't just about the arrangement anymore. I look forward to our time together, and I care about you deeply." As they sat there, the realization settled in that their feelings had grown into something genuine and profound. It was no longer about convenience or mutual benefits. It was about two people who had found a meaningful connection amidst the chaos. Their relationship continued to deepen in the weeks that followed. They began spending more time together outside of work, exploring new interests and supporting each other through various challenges. Alex introduced Emma to his love of art and music, while Emma shared her passion for wildlife photography, taking Alex on excursions to capture the beauty of nature. One evening, as they prepared dinner together in Alex's apartment, the atmosphere was filled with warmth and laughter. Emma couldn't help but feel that they had become more than just partners. They were becoming a family. As they sat down to eat, Alex reached across the table and took Emma's hand. "Emma, I want you to know that whatever happens, I'm here for you. We've faced so much together already, and I know we can handle anything that comes our way." Emma squeezed his hand, her heart full. "Thank you, Alex. I feel the same way. You've been my rock through everything, and I'm grateful for every moment we've shared." Their relationship had transformed into something beautiful and resilient. They had built a foundation of trust and mutual respect, navigating the complexities of their lives with a newfound sense of unity. The challenges they had faced had only strengthened their bond, proving that they were capable of overcoming anything together. As they finished their meal, Emma and Alex knew that their journey was far from over. But with each other by their side, they were ready to face whatever the future held, confident in the love and partnership they had discovered. Emma and Alex's relationship grew stronger each day, but balancing their blossoming romance with their demanding careers was no easy feat. Both were deeply dedicated to their work. Emma with her clinic and Alex with Innovate Pet. The responsibilities and pressures of their professional lives often threatened to encroach on their personal time together. One particularly hectic week, Emma found herself swamped with a series of emergency cases at the clinic. An influx of injured exotic animals had arrived from a wildlife trafficking bust, and Emma worked tirelessly to treat them, her heart aching for the creatures who had suffered so much. She spent long hours at the clinic, sometimes staying overnight, her mind constantly occupied with their care. Meanwhile, Alex was in the midst of launching a new product line at Innovate Pet. The launch was critical, coming on the heels of the smart collar controversy. He was determined to restore the company's reputation and ensure the success of the new products. This meant back-to-back meetings, late-night strategy sessions, and overseeing every detail of the launch. Despite their busy schedules, they made an effort to stay connected. They sent each other supportive messages throughout the day and stole moments for quick phone calls. But the physical distance began to take its toll. They missed the easy comfort of being together, the quiet evenings spent unwinding in each other's company. One Friday evening, after a particularly grueling week, Alex showed up at the clinic unexpectedly. Emma was in the middle of treating a young injured owl, and she looked up, surprised and exhausted, as he walked in. "Alex, what are you doing here?" she asked, her voice tinged with fatigue. He gave her a warm smile. "I missed you. I know how hard you've been working, and I thought you could use a little break." Emma's eyes softened. "I've missed you too, but there's still so much to do here." Alex glanced around the clinic, taking in the bustling activity. "I understand, but even superheroes need to rest, Emma. Let me help you finish up here, and then we can go home and have a quiet evening together." Emma nodded, grateful for his presence. With Alex's help, they managed to complete the evening's tasks more quickly. By the time they left the clinic, the sky was dark, and the city lights twinkled like stars. They drove back to Alex's apartment, where he had prepared a simple but delicious dinner. As they sat together, eating and talking, the tension of the week began to melt away. They shared stories about their respective days, laughing at the absurdities and finding comfort in each other's company. The evening reminded them of why they had fallen for each other in the first place: their shared values, their mutual support, and the undeniable connection between them. After dinner, they curled up on the couch, watching a documentary about wildlife conservation, one of Emma's favorites. Alex held her close, his presence a steady reassurance. They didn't need to say much. The quiet companionship was enough. In the weeks that followed, Emma and Alex made a conscious effort to carve out time for each other. They scheduled regular date nights, blocked off weekends for getaways, and found small ways to stay connected despite their busy lives. They learned to balance their careers with their relationship, understanding that both were important and required effort and dedication. Their love grew stronger as they navigated these challenges together. They found that by supporting each other, they could achieve a balance that allowed them to thrive both professionally and personally. It wasn't always easy, but it was always worth it. One night, as they lay in bed, Emma turned to Alex, her eyes reflecting the depth of her feelings. "Thank you for being my partner in everything. I couldn't do this without you." Alex smiled, kissing her forehead. "We're in this together, Emma. no matter what. As they drifted off to sleep, they knew that the road ahead would have its share of challenges. But they were ready to face them together, stronger and more united than ever. Their love was a testament to their commitment, a balance of passion and dedication that would carry them through whatever came next. It was a crisp autumn morning when Emma received an urgent call from a local wildlife rescue organization. A rare and endangered snow leopard had been found injured and in critical condition. The rescue team had managed to transport the majestic creature to a temporary shelter, but they needed Emma's expertise to save its life. Emma didn't hesitate. She quickly gathered her medical supplies and informed her clinic staff, who would manage things in her absence. She called Alex, knowing he would want to be involved, and within minutes, they were on their way to the shelter. When they arrived, the scene was both awe-inspiring and heartbreaking. The snow leopard, a magnificent creature with striking blue eyes and a coat patterned with dark rosettes, lay on a makeshift bed, breathing heavily. Its injuries were severe, deep lacerations and a broken leg, likely from a trap set by poachers. Emma approached the animal slowly, her voice calm and soothing. "Hey there, beautiful. We're here to help you." The leopard's eyes flickered with pain and fear, but Emma's gentle demeanor seemed to have a calming effect. She began her examination, meticulously assessing the injuries. Alex watched in admiration, ready to assist however he could. "We need to sedate her first," Emma said, her tone professional but gentle. "It's going to be a delicate operation." With Alex's help, they carefully administered the sedative, waiting until the snow leopard was peacefully asleep. Then, Emma got to work, her hands steady and precise as she cleaned the wounds and set the broken bone. The process was intense, requiring all of her skill and concentration. Hours passed, but Emma didn't waver. She was in her element, driven by her passion and determination to save the animal. Alex stayed by her side, offering support and encouragement. He marveled at her dedication, knowing that this was what she was meant to do. Finally, the surgery was complete. Emma wiped her brow, her face a mixture of exhaustion and relief. She's stable for now, but the next 24 hours are critical. The shelter staff had prepared a special recovery area, and together, Emma and Alex carefully moved the snow leopard to a comfortable, quiet space. Emma monitored her vital signs, staying vigilant as the animal began to wake from the sedation. As night fell, Emma refused to leave the leopard's side. She set up a makeshift bed in the shelter, determined to be there in case of any complications. Alex, equally committed, stayed with her, bringing blankets and hot drinks to ward off the cold. They spent the night watching over the snow leopard, their shared vigil deepening their bond. In the early hours of the morning, the leopard began to stir, her eyes opening slowly. She looked at Emma and Alex, recognition and trust evident in her gaze. "She's going to make it," Emma whispered, her voice filled with emotion. Alex smiled, his heart swelling with pride and love. "You did it, Emma. You saved her." In the days that followed, the snow leopard's recovery was nothing short of miraculous. Under Emma's watchful care, she regained her strength, her wounds healing steadily. News of the rescue spread, and people from all over marveled at the dedication and skill that had saved such a rare and beautiful creature. For Emma, it was a reaffirmation of her life's purpose. She had always known she was meant to help animals, but this experience solidified her resolve. She felt a deep sense of fulfillment, knowing she had made a real difference. And for Alex, it was a reminder of why he had fallen in love with Emma. Her compassion, her unwavering commitment, and her incredible talent were qualities that he admired and cherished. Together, they had faced a challenge and emerged stronger, their partnership fortified by their shared experiences and mutual respect. As they released the snow leopard back into a protected wildlife reserve, watching her disappear into the wild, Emma and Alex knew they had witnessed something extraordinary. It was a moment that would stay with them forever, a testament to the power of love, dedication, and the incredible impact one person can have on the world. Emma and Alex had settled into a comfortable rhythm, their relationship growing stronger with each shared experience. But as the holiday season approached, a new challenge emerged, family pressures, and expectations. Alex's family was well known in the business world, and their gatherings were grand, formal affairs filled with influential people. His parents, particularly his mother, had always been vocal about their desire for Alex to settle down with someone who matched their social standing. Despite Emma's accomplishments, she worried that she wouldn't meet their lofty expectations. The invitation to the Carter family's annual holiday gala arrived with a flourish. Alex's mother, Margaret, had included a handwritten note, warmly inviting Emma to join them. While the gesture was kind, Emma couldn't shake the feeling of impending scrutiny. "Are you sure about this?" Emma asked Alex one evening, her anxiety evident. "I don't exactly fit into their world." Alex took her hands in his gaze steady and reassuring. "Emma, you're incredible, and my family will see that. You belong with me, and that's what matters." Despite his confidence, the days leading up to the gala were filled with nervous anticipation. Emma chose a classic yet elegant dress, wanting to make a good impression while staying true to herself. Alex, ever the supportive partner, helped her prepare, offering words of encouragement and reassuring smiles. The night of the gala arrived, and as they walked into the Carter mansion, Emma felt a wave of apprehension. The opulent decorations, the impeccably dressed guests, and the atmosphere of sophistication were overwhelming. Alex stayed close, his presence a comforting anchor in the sea of unfamiliar faces. Margaret Carter greeted them at the entrance, her smile polite but assessing. "Emma, it's wonderful to finally meet you. Alex has told us so much about you." Emma returned the smile, her nerves barely concealed. "Thank you, Mrs. Carter. It's a pleasure to be here." As the evening progressed, Emma did her best to engage in conversations and navigate the social intricacies of the event. She met Alex's siblings, who were warm and welcoming, but it was clear that Margaret's approval was the true test. Margaret observed Emma throughout the night, her eyes sharp and critical. During dinner, Margaret directed a series of pointed questions at Emma, inquiring about her background, her career, and her aspirations. Emma answered honestly, emphasizing her passion for veterinary medicine and her commitment to animal welfare. She spoke about her work with exotic animals, the challenges she had faced, and the rewards of making a difference. Despite her best efforts, Emma sensed Margaret's skepticism. The older woman seemed to be weighing Emma against an invisible standard, one that Emma feared she could never meet. After dinner, Margaret requested a private conversation with Emma in the study. "Emma," Margaret began, her tone measured, "I can see that you're passionate and dedicated. However, our world is demanding, and it requires a certain level of sophistication and social acumen. Do you believe you're prepared for that?" Emma took a deep breath, meeting Margaret's gaze with quiet determination. "Mrs. Carter, I understand your concerns, but I'm not here to fit into a mold. I'm here because I care deeply for Alex, and he cares for me. We support each other, and together we're stronger. I may not come from the same background, but I bring my own strengths and values to this relationship." Margaret studied her for a moment, then nodded slowly. "I can see that you're sincere. Just know that this world can be unforgiving. You'll need resilience and grace to navigate it." Emma nodded, her resolve unwavering. "I understand, and I'm ready for the challenges that come with it. I love Alex, and I'll do whatever it takes to stand by his side." Their conversation ended on a tentative note of mutual respect. As the evening drew to a close, Alex found Emma and took her hand, sensing the weight of the exchange with his mother. "How did it go?" he asked softly. Emma smiled, a mixture of relief and determination in her eyes. "It was intense, but I think she's beginning to see that I'm serious about us." Alex squeezed her hand, his love and pride evident. "You were amazing, Emma. Thank you for standing up for us." As they left the gala, Emma felt a sense of accomplishment. She had faced the pressure and expectations head-on, standing firm in her love for Alex and her belief in their relationship. It wasn't an easy path, but she knew that together, they could overcome any obstacle. Their bond had been tested, and it emerged stronger. Emma realized that while the approval of Alex's family was important, The strength of their relationship depended on their mutual support and unwavering commitment to each other. And with that understanding, they were ready to face whatever the future held, side by side. With the holidays behind them and their relationship solidifying, Emma and Alex entered the new year with renewed focus and determination. However, beneath the surface, Emma grappled with a lingering fear, one she had never fully confronted. The fear of losing her independence and control over her life if she committed fully to a relationship as serious as the one with Alex. It started subtly. Emma noticed her own hesitation in making plans that involved long-term commitments, like moving in together or discussing future family plans. She cherished her independence, the freedom to make decisions without feeling tethered to another person's expectations. Yet, she also deeply loved Alex and the life they were building together. One evening, as they relaxed on the couch after a long day, Alex brought up the idea of them living together. "Emma, I've been thinking, what if we moved in together? It feels like the next step for us." Emma's heart raced. She had anticipated this conversation, but hearing it out loud brought her fears to the forefront. She hesitated, her mind racing through the potential loss of her personal space and the fear of becoming too dependent on someone else. "Alex, I don't know," she said slowly. "I love spending time with you, but I'm not sure if I'm ready for that yet." Alex looked at her, concern in his eyes. "Emma, what's holding you back? Is it something I've done?" Emma shook her head, feeling a knot form in her stomach. "No, it's not you. It's me. I've always valued my independence, and I'm afraid of losing that if we move in together. I've never been in a relationship this serious before, and it scares me." Alex took her hand, his touch gentle. "Emma, I understand. I don't want you to feel pressured. But know that wanting to share my life with you doesn't mean you'll lose your independence. We can find a balance." Despite his reassurances, Emma struggled with her internal conflict. She decided to seek advice from someone who might understand. She reached out to her mentor, Dr. Thomas Reed, who had always been a guiding figure in her life. They met at a quiet cafe, and Emma poured her heart out, explaining her fears and the dilemma she faced. Dr. Reed listened patiently, his expression thoughtful. "Emma, it's natural to fear losing your independence," he said finally. "But being in a relationship doesn't mean giving up who you are. It means finding someone who complements you, who supports your goals and dreams. It's about compromise and understanding, not about sacrificing your identity." His words resonated with Emma. She realized that her fear was rooted in past experiences and the pressure to maintain control over her life. But with Alex, things were different. He respected her independence and supported her ambitions. Emma returned home, her mind clearer. She found Alex in the living room, reading a book. She sat beside him, taking his hand. "Alex, I've been thinking a lot," she began. "I've been scared because I didn't want to lose myself in our relationship. But I see now that being with you doesn't mean giving up who I am. It means having a partner who supports and understands me." Alex smiled, squeezing her hand. "Emma, I love you for who you are. I don't want to change you or take away your independence. I want to be by your side, supporting you in everything you do." Emma felt a wave of relief and gratitude. "Let's take this step together, but at our own pace. We can find a way to make it work without either of us feeling like we're giving up too much." Alex nodded, his eyes filled with love and understanding. "Absolutely. We'll make it work, Emma." In the months that followed, Emma and Alex began to blend their lives more seamlessly. They spent more time together, gradually merging their routines and finding a balance that honored both their independence and their commitment to each other. Emma learned that being in a relationship with Alex didn't mean losing herself. It meant having a partner who valued her for exactly who she was. By confronting her fears and communicating openly with Alex, Emma discovered a deeper level of trust and connection in their relationship. They were not just two individuals navigating life side by side. They were a team, ready to face whatever challenges came their way, together. As Emma and Alex grew closer, they continued to face challenges, both personal and professional. But nothing could have prepared them for the shocking revelations that were about to unfold. revelations that would test their relationship like never before. It started with a visit from a woman named Clara Bennett, a former employee of InnovatePet. Clara had left the company under mysterious circumstances a few years earlier, and her sudden reappearance brought a wave of unease. She reached out to Alex, requesting a private meeting to discuss urgent matters. Alex agreed, curious but cautious. He invited Clara to his office, where she arrived looking nervous but determined. As they sat down, Clara wasted no time. "Alex, there's something you need to know," she began, her voice steady. "When I left InnovatePet, it wasn't by choice. I discovered some discrepancies in the company's financial records, large sums of money being funneled into unauthorized accounts. When I brought it to the attention of the board, I was threatened and forced to resign." Alex's eyes widened in shock. "Why didn't you come to me sooner, Clara?" "I was scared," Clara admitted. "But recently, I've learned that the corruption goes deeper than I thought. There are people in high positions using InnovatePet's resources for illegal activities. I couldn't stay silent any longer." Alex felt a surge of anger and betrayal. He had always trusted his team, and the thought of someone exploiting his company for personal gain was infuriating. He knew he needed to get to the bottom of this, but he also realized the potential fallout could be disastrous. That evening, Alex shared Clara's revelations with Emma. She listened intently, her face reflecting a mix of concern and determination. "Alex, this is serious. If what Clara says is true, we need to act quickly. But we also need to be careful. Exposing this could have major repercussions." Alex nodded, appreciating her support. "I know. I need to gather evidence and figure out who's behind this. But I can't do it alone. Will you help me?" Emma didn't hesitate. "Of course. We'll get through this together." Over the next few weeks, Alex and Emma worked tirelessly to uncover the truth. They delved into financial records, interviewed current and former employees, and pieced together the puzzle. The more they uncovered, the more it became clear that the corruption was deeply rooted, involving several high-ranking officials. Their investigation led them to a shocking discovery. One of the main culprits was none other than Alex's trusted CFO, Richard Lawson. Richard had been with InnovatePet since its inception, and Alex had always considered him a loyal and integral part of the company. Confronting Richard was inevitable, but Alex knew it wouldn't be easy. He decided to call a board meeting with Emma by his side for support. The tension in the room was palpable as Alex presented the evidence they had gathered. Richard's face remained impassive, but there was a flicker of anger in his eyes. "Richard, I trusted you," Alex said, his voice steady but filled with emotion. "How could you betray the company like this?" Richard finally spoke, his tone cold and defiant. "You were too naive, Alex. You trusted people too easily. This company needed strong leadership, someone willing to do whatever it takes to succeed." Alex felt a pang of sadness and disbelief. "This isn't leadership, Richard. This is corruption. You've jeopardized everything we've built." The board members were stunned, but the evidence was undeniable. Richard was removed from his position, and legal actions were initiated against him and the others involved. It was a painful process, but necessary to cleanse InnovatePet of its corruption. As the dust settled, Alex and Emma reflected on the ordeal. They had faced betrayal and challenges that tested their resilience and trust in each other. Through it all, their bond had only grown stronger. One evening, as they sat on the porch of their home, watching the sunset, Alex turned to Emma, gratitude shining in his eyes. "Thank you for standing by me, Emma. I couldn't have done this without you." Emma smiled, leaning into him. "We're a team, Alex, and together we can face anything." The revelations and confrontations had been difficult, but they had emerged stronger and more united. They knew there would be more challenges ahead, but with their unwavering commitment to each other and their shared values, they were ready to face whatever the future held. With the corruption scandal behind them, Emma and Alex focused on rebuilding InnovatePet and solidifying their personal lives. The company, while shaken, had the chance for a fresh start under Alex's renewed leadership and Emma's unwavering support. To mark this new beginning, Alex decided to host an open house at InnovatePet's headquarters, inviting employees, partners, and investors to see the changes and new initiatives firsthand. The event was meant to be a symbol of transparency and a recommitment to the company's core values. Emma played a crucial role in planning the event, her organizational skills and eye for detail ensuring everything went smoothly. She worked closely with Alex, and their teamwork was evident in every aspect of the preparations. The open house was a success, with positive feedback pouring in from all attendees. It was clear that Innovate Pet was on the right path to restoring its reputation. One of the highlights of the event was the unveiling of a new product line, smart veterinary tools designed to assist with diagnostics and treatment in animal clinics. Emma had been deeply involved in the development of these tools, her expertise and insights guiding the design and functionality. As Alex demonstrated the products, he made sure to acknowledge Emma's contributions, highlighting their collaboration. Emma has been instrumental in bringing these innovations to life, Alex said, his voice filled with pride. Her dedication and passion for animal care have inspired us all, and I'm grateful to have her as both a partner and a driving force behind Innovate Pet's future. Emma felt a swell of pride and happiness. The acknowledgement was more than just professional. It was a testament to their partnership and the strength they had found in each other. In their personal lives, Emma and Alex decided to take a significant step forward. They found a beautiful house on the outskirts of the city, surrounded by nature and close to both the clinic and Innovate Pet's headquarters. It was the perfect blend of their worlds, a sanctuary where they could unwind and enjoy each other's company. Moving in together was an adventure. They spent weekends decorating, blending their styles, and making the house their own. Emma's love for wildlife photography was evident in the framed prints that adorned the walls, while Alex's tech gadgets seamlessly integrated into their home. They found joy in the little things, like cooking meals together, taking evening walks, and simply being in each other's presence. One evening, as they sat on the porch, sipping wine and watching the sunset, Alex turned to Emma, a thoughtful expression on his face. "Emma, there's something I've been wanting to ask you." Emma's heart skipped a beat, sensing the seriousness in his tone. "What is it, Alex?" He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box, opening it to reveal a stunning engagement ring. "Emma, you've changed my life in ways I never imagined. You've stood by me through the toughest times, and I can't imagine my future without you. Will you marry me?" Tears welled up in Emma's eyes as she looked at Alex, overwhelmed with emotion. "Yes, Alex, I will." They embraced, their hearts full of love and excitement for the future. The engagement marked the beginning of a new chapter in their lives, one filled with promise and endless possibilities. As they planned their wedding, they continued to support each other's dreams and ambitions. Emma's clinic thrived with the help of the new veterinary tools, allowing her to provide even better care for her patients. Innovate Pet, under Alex's leadership, regained its standing as a pioneer in pet care technology, driven by a renewed sense of purpose and integrity. Their journey had been filled with challenges, but each obstacle had only strengthened their bond. Together, they had faced corruption, personal fears, and professional hurdles, emerging stronger and more united. As they stood on the brink of a new life together, Emma and Alex knew that their love and partnership were unshakable. They were ready to face whatever came next, confident in the knowledge that they could overcome anything as long as they had each other. As Emma and Alex's wedding day approached, everything seemed to be falling perfectly into place. They were happier than ever. Their professional lives were thriving, and their love for each other grew stronger with each passing day. But life, as they would soon discover, has a way of throwing unexpected curveballs. A week before the wedding, Emma received a phone call from an old acquaintance, Dr. Rachel Matthews, a renowned wildlife biologist she had met during a conference years ago. Rachel's voice was filled with urgency. "Emma, I need your help. It's about the snow leopard you saved." Emma's heart skipped a beat. The snow leopard, now thriving in a wildlife sanctuary, had always held a special place in her heart. "What's wrong, Rachel?" Rachel explained that the sanctuary had been facing a series of strange incidents. Animals disappearing, security breaches, and an overall sense of unease. Recently, they discovered a poaching ring operating dangerously close to the sanctuary, and the snow leopard seemed to be a prime target. "We need someone with your expertise and passion to help us relocate her to a safer area. It's a delicate operation, and I can't think of anyone better suited for the job." Emma was torn. The wedding was just days away, and she had responsibilities to Alex and their guests. But the thought of the snow leopard in danger was unbearable. She knew she had to act. That evening, Emma discussed the situation with Alex. He listened intently, his face a mix of concern and understanding. "Emma, you have to go. The snow leopard needs you, and I'll handle everything here. Our wedding can wait." Emma felt a rush of gratitude and love for Alex. "Are you sure? I don't want to disrupt our plans." Alex smiled, his eyes filled with determination. "This is who you are, Emma. It's one of the reasons I fell in love with you. Go save her. We'll have our perfect day when you get back." With Alex's blessing, Emma quickly made arrangements to join Rachel at the sanctuary. The journey was fraught with tension. The poachers were dangerously close, and time was of the essence. When Emma arrived, she immediately got to work, coordinating with the sanctuary staff and local authorities to plan the snow leopard's relocation. The operation was perilous. They had to sedate the snow leopard and transport her through rough terrain to a new, undisclosed location far from the poacher's reach. Emma's heart pounded as she worked, every decision critical to the animal's survival. As they finally secured the snow leopard in her new sanctuary, Emma felt a wave of relief wash over her. The majestic creature was safe, at least for now. Rachel hugged her tightly. "You did it, Emma. You saved her again." Emma couldn't help but smile through her exhaustion. It was a team effort. "I'm just glad she's safe." She returned home just in time for the wedding. Alex met her at the airport, his eyes lighting up when he saw her. "You made it," he said, pulling her into a tight embrace. Emma laughed, tears of joy streaming down her face. "I couldn't miss our big day." Their wedding was a beautiful, intimate affair. Surrounded by family and friends, Emma and Alex exchanged vows, their hearts full of love and commitment. As they danced under the stars that evening, Emma realized just how much they had been through together. The twist in their story, the urgent mission to save the snow leopard, had tested their relationship in ways they hadn't anticipated. But it also reaffirmed their bond and their unwavering support for each other's passions and values. As they looked into each other's eyes, Emma whispered, "Thank you for understanding, for always supporting me." Alex smiled, his love for her evident in every glance. "We're a team, Emma. Always." Their wedding day was perfect, not because everything went according to plan, but because they had faced the unexpected together and emerged stronger. It was a testament to their love and partnership, ready to take on whatever life threw their way. After the wedding, life for Emma and Alex settled into a blissful routine. They had found a balance between their demanding careers and their personal lives, each day bringing new adventures and deepening their bond. Their house, once a mere structure, had transformed into a home filled with love, laughter, and shared memories. One sunny morning, as they enjoyed breakfast on their porch, Alex turned to Emma with a twinkle in his eye. "I have a surprise for you," he said, a playful grin spreading across his face. Emma raised an eyebrow, intrigued. "Oh, and what might that be?" Alex stood up and took her hand, leading her down the garden path to a small, secluded area they had been working on together. There, nestled among the trees, was a beautifully crafted wooden structure, Emma's very own wildlife rehabilitation center. Emma's eyes widened in amazement. "Alex, this is incredible. How did you?" Alex chuckled, enjoying her reaction. "I wanted to give you a space where you could continue your work with animals right here at home. A place where you can rehabilitate and care for wildlife without having to travel far." Emma felt tears of joy welling up in her eyes. She threw her arms around Alex, hugging him tightly. "Thank you, Alex. This is the most wonderful gift anyone has ever given me." The rehabilitation center quickly became a labor of love for both of them. Emma poured her heart into designing the space, ensuring it had everything needed to care for injured and orphaned animals. Alex used his technical expertise to equip the center with the latest veterinary technology, making it a state-of-the-art facility. As the first animals arrived, a mix of birds, small mammals, and even a few reptiles, Emma and Alex found themselves working side by side, their shared passion bringing them even closer. They spent countless hours caring for the animals, their bond growing stronger with each life they touched. One evening, as they sat by the fire pit in their garden, Emma reflected on their journey. "We've come a long way, haven't we?" she said, her voice soft and contemplative. Alex nodded, his eyes fixed on the dancing flames. "We have, and I wouldn't change a single moment of it." Emma smiled, reaching for his hand. "Me neither. We've faced so many challenges, but we've always come out stronger. I can't wait to see what the future holds for us." Alex squeezed her hand, a look of contentment on his face. "Whatever it is, we'll face it together." Their life was filled with joyous moments and fulfilling work. The rehabilitation center became a beacon of hope for injured wildlife, and Emma's dedication earned her recognition and respect in the veterinary community. Innovate Pet continued to thrive under Alex's leadership, pioneering new advancements in animal care technology. As the years passed, Emma and Alex remained each other's greatest support. They celebrated their successes, comforted each other during tough times, and cherished every moment they spent together. Their love story, marked by resilience and mutual respect, became an inspiration to those around them. One spring afternoon, as they released a rehabilitated eagle back into the wild, Emma felt a profound sense of fulfillment. Watching the majestic bird soar into the sky, she turned to Alex, her heart swelling with gratitude and love. "We've built something truly special," she said, her voice filled with emotion. Alex wrapped his arm around her, pulling her close. "Yes, we have, and it's just the beginning." Emma looked up at him, her eyes sparkling. "I love you, Alex. I love you too, Emma, more than words can express." In that moment, as they stood together, watching the eagle disappear into the horizon, Emma and Alex knew that their journey was far from over. They had found their forever in each other, and whatever the future held, they were ready to embrace it together.